Norman McClaren's legacy includes abstract animated imagery, like the film you see on the monitor beside me. McClaren's name is not as famous as Walt Disney's, but his contributions to animation are just as significant. That's according to the creators of a spectacle in Montreal called Norman. The show combines theater, dance, and animation in an innovative way to pay tribute to one of the world's great cinematic innovators. Norman McClaren made films from the early 1930s until the 1980s and lived in Montreal most of his life. From the company 4D Art, here's a look at the live stage show, Norman. Animated lines by Norman McClaren surround dancer Peter Trosztmer in a live performance where motion pictures are seemingly projected in the air instead of on a screen.
There's a lot of interaction with animation and video and film. I'm trying to create an idea that because these images are so powerful and so brilliant, that they're things that have come and inhabited me and come out of me. Yeah.
Before a live audience, Trosztmer pretends to interact with McClaren's movies, but he can't see them when he's on stage.
I get tons and tons of feedback as to whether I'm in the right place at the right time, but constantly I have my co-choreographer, Thea, there telling me, no, you're not looking at the right spot, you're not looking at the right thing.
Comme avait-il mon bel, comme avait-il mon bel chanté, comme avait-il mon bel, comme avait-il mon bel chanté.
The spectacle honors Norman McClaren, a Scottish-born filmmaker who moved to North America in 1939. He later founded the animation studio at the National Film Board of Canada.
Norman McClaren is our most famous Canadian artist. He is our Picasso, our Dali, our Jackson Pollock. He is an incredible artist, and the motivation to do this show was to share our passion that we had for this man.
I think he started off as a technical, sort of a innovator. Saw a different way of creating animation.
He did animation movies without using a camera. He was so poor at the beginning that he couldn't afford a camera. So what he did, he took strips of films and he started scratching one frame at a time and animating one frame at a time.
Here you are at the beginning of the movie era, one man doing a movie by himself, like a sculptor, doing his sculpture. He doesn't have to have this big machine, the big cameras, the big crew, the big financing. No, he's alone in his room and he's doing a movie.
Directors Michel Lemieux and Victor Pilon say dancing a duet with McClaren's animation creates a moving tribute to the filmmaker.
Norman McClaren always said that if he wouldn't be an animation filmmaker, he would be a dancer. Because the love of movement, that is really at the center point of all his films, is movement. So what's happening in the show is the dancer, choreographer, inspire himself from the movement in the movie, and it's a bit like the movie is making the choreography in a way, and the dancer is following that choreography and the dancer merge with the movie.
To merge a dancer with a movie requires old magician's tricks and new technology, a mix perfected by Lemieux and Pilon.
Norman, I think if he was still alive today, he would be working in virtual images and 3D images, of course. So, like Norman, we like to play. with technology, and we like to experiment with technology, but with a human flavor to it, with a humanity to it. And Norman had that in his work, but he is the great master.
The idea is to make the techniques and the technology disappear. That's the way you master your tools. We shouldn't think about technology when we see a show like Norman. We should become the little child, the inner child we were.
I think we need today to have a bit of magic in our lives. I think our shows, when you're confronted to something which you could not explain or understand, I think there's a sense of wonder that is generated in the spectator. And there's the child, it goes and touches the child in you.
I always have the same feeling when I look at our show, when it really works. I'm amazed, and I say, and I'm really proud to be able to share that wonderment with other people, the audience in the hall.
It's not just audiences in Quebec who have enjoyed the show Norman. The spectacle has toured China, France, Austria, and Mexico. Learn about this show and other works by 4D Art at 4dart.com.